Hello YouTubers. I thought I'd do a different kind of video. I might do this in categories as we go along, but in this video I'm going to be doing a review on my zombie movies. Yes, that's right, zombie movies. I did one of these quite a while back now on my webcam for my computer. I recorded it on an iMac, but I never got around to publishing it, so I figured I'd do it from the hands-free of my iPhone. So I'm basically going to show you some of my favourite and okay zombie movies for everyone to watch and possibly check out, and I'll give you my highlighted favourites. So without further ado, let's start. So the first one we got is, obviously it's what started the full classic zombie genre off, was Night of the Living Dead by George Romero. This film's okay. I wouldn't class it as a favourite, but it's what really started off the film back in the beginning. This was made in 1968. This is when the dead came out of their graves and started terrorising your local neighbourhood. You know the story about this, isn't it? It's where a group of people are trapped at a house. Well, it starts off with a brother and sister going to the cemetery to put flowers on a grave. And then the brother's taken down by the undead and she flees and she meets up with an African guy and a couple of people at a farmhouse, and they have to try and survive. It's okay. I wouldn't say it's my favourite, but if you want to learn how it all started, definitely I recommend. Now, my favourite one is Dawn of the Dead. Now, this is an all-time favourite in my opinion. I really love this film. I mainly like it obviously because it's set in a shopping centre, and we all know how great it must be to have a shopping centre to yourself, especially if it's going to be infested with hungry zombies. But what I like about this film is believe it or not, it was the first ever zombie film I saw back in the day. And yes, it scared the shit out of me. It really terrified me because this was back in the late 90s when everyone was playing, and everyone in my family was playing the Resident Evil games. And I was over at my dad's friend's house, and his son put it on for me, and we watched it together, and I had night terrors I had night terrors when I went to bed. But either way, I still managed to overcome that fear, and I fell in love with this film because it's just so awesome. The gore and the shooting effects. I mean, I just love how they conquer the shopping centre. I love how they try and take it over from the undead. I definitely recommend it. I honestly recommend this one as a favourite. Next one, Collector's Edition, well, the 25th Anniversary Edition. Now, I would also say that this is a favourite as well. Day of the Dead. Sequel from Dawn of the Dead, obviously, but in this case, it's set in an underground bunker where, obviously, these people have to try and survive. The whole world's conquered with the dead. There's a scientist by the name of, what's his name? Dr. Logan, who keeps one zombie and manages to train him up to make him look more human-like. It really is cool. Yeah, I really do like this film. I definitely recommend it. Okay. Next one. What should we do first? Zombieland. Now then, now this is an all-time good comedy. I know it says there, best zom-com since Shaun of the Dead. I know in America it says Superbad meets Shaun of the Dead. Now, I definitely recommend this because it is quite a cool comedy. You've got Woody Harrelson, you got Jesse Eisenberg, he's one of my favourite actors. We got the gorgeous Emma Stone, and yeah, they've got like a little extra girl with her. And it's a really good comedy. It's a fun comedy. Basically, Jesse Eisenberg's a student. He basically has his own rules on how to survive Zombieland, and you should really watch it. Then he meets up with Emma, the little girl, and then he meets up with Woody Harrelson. It's really good. I recommend it. I definitely recommend it. Classic favourite. Jesse Eisenberg is one cool actor. Next one we've got is, I would say, another favourite as well. I used to watch this all the time on video. This is Shaun of the Dead. Now, obviously, this is a classic cult comedy. You all know Nick Frost and Simon Pegg. Yeah, they're doing other films now. They did Hot Fuzz, they did Paul, they did that other film. What was it called? At World's Ends, or no, that was I think that's something else. No, but I really still enjoy this. It's still a good comedy. I love how it's set in like the pub, and there's like, yeah, I definitely used to love watching this back in the day, and it's still really cool. You also may know the director, what's his name? Was it Edgar Wright? He also directed Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, which is another awesome film. Anyway, moving on. We'll get on to the Resident Evil films in a sec. So we are now going to look at have a look at this one. 28 Days Later. Now these are very good. They're not so much zombie-ish because you don't actually get a good look at the zombies every now and then. It's more of an infection film, whereas zombies, you get a bite, you're done for. It's if you get blood in your eye or anywhere it leaves to the open insides of your body, you'll end up getting turned. It's very good. There's a lot of jump scares in this one. I would say it's an all-time classic. I definitely recommend it. I definitely recommend it to anyone that likes the infections. And obviously we've got 28 Weeks Later, which is just the same, except it becomes a lot worse. We've got, what's his name? Oh, how do you say his name again? I used to get tongue twisted. Robert Carlyle. I think that's how you say his name, Carlyle. I'm sorry if I get it wrong. And that's pretty good. I enjoyed it. It's definitely something to watch. Now we're going to move on to now this is not a movie, you would say. It's actually a TV series. It feels like a movie, but it isn't. There's a show over here in England called Big Brother, which is a contestant show where people, you may have seen Gary Busey in it, where they're all at the Big Brother house playing the game. But one night, I should say there's a TV critic, Charlie Brooker, decides to make Big Brother into a scary thing. So what that basically is it's an eviction night, and all hell breaks loose. You know, they have to try and survive. Davina McCall, she becomes a member of the undead. Oh god, we got it's just proper hellish. Okay, moving on. This one is for if you really want a good laugh when it comes to zombies, and I hope that you've got a strong stomach. Brain Dead, from Peter Jackson before he became known for King Kong and Lord of the Bloody Rings. Brain Dead, it's also known as, Dead Alive in America. Now this film is just corny and twisted. It's one of them films where it's scary, but it's a good laugh as well. I mean, I remember me and my father were watching this. It was so funny. There are some scenes that may make you feel squeamish. Like, I will admit now, there was that scene with the pudding where the mother, who's a zombie, her ear falls off into the pudding and she eats it. Oh, that is gross. But if you love the blood and gore, there's a scene where he mows down a house full. His house becomes full of the undead with a lawnmower, and it is absolutely bloody. Bloody, bloody, bloody. Yeah, I definitely recommend it. It's on for quite a bit. It's a very long movie, but if you haven't got nothing better to do, it should take up most of your time well. Next we got Dead Snow, Undead, which is obviously by the cover. You've got bleeding Nazi zombies. Now, I like Nazi zombies. I really do think they're one of the best zombies out there. Basically, yes, this is obviously it's a German film. It involves a group of students going up to, like a log cabin in the snowy hills for the weekend. Well, when all of a sudden the Nazis come back from the dead. These Nazi zombies come back and cause ultimate terror. It's really good. I mean, it's in German, but there's English subtitles, so I definitely recommend it. I definitely recommend it indeed. Sorry, just in case you didn't see through the camera there. Nazi bastards. All right, moving on. Before we get on to the Resident Evil films, we'll have a look at this. Dawn of the Dead, the remake. Now, I like this. I really, truly enjoyed the remake of this. I prefer the original better, but I definitely really enjoyed it. There was something about it that just made it so cool. It's the same plot, except the zombies are a lot more faster, a lot more terrifying, but definitely a barrel of laughs. Barrel of laughs? No, what am I thinking? No, scratch that. Definitely a barrel of entertaining. There's some good actions, there's a lot of gore, you could say. It's really cool. It's really cool. you may have also seen on YouTube the bonus features, like you get, for example, you get like the news footage or what it's like in the news station, them extra videos and whatnot. Alright, now we'll move on to the Resident Evil films. Now, the first Resident Evil, I will admit, I didn't get to properly watch because that was at the time when I was still trying to get over my fear of zombies. Like I said, from watching Dawn of the Dead to newer films, I found it hard to watch a bit. But either way, I think I would you know what, no. I know I've only half watched it, but I truly enjoy them all the way. I think it's a good story. I think Mila Jovovich really fits the part. I think that's the scene that really scared the crap out of me, was when he got overcome by the dead. I think that's the only time I ever got scared, but I'm over it now. But no, this is I would say it's a good film. It really is a good film. But my favourite, one of my all favourites, I'd have to say, is the apocalypse, where it gets out into the city. Now, in this film, it definitely is. It really is awesome. You know, I don't care what the critics say, whether it's nothing like the games or whether they say it's nothing like the games or not. I do not give a shit. They are good films, okay? If you don't like it, don't say it, because no one likes a critic. I fucking hate them. I'm sorry to use bad language, but I just hate it when people get all critical. My friend was like that once. You know who you are, if you're watching. But this is, I would have to say, I really enjoyed this film. Mila Jovovich is again looking as great as ever. And Sienna Guillory, who plays Jill Valentine now, you can't beat her. She is good. She really is good. The Nemesis, they're all good, they really are. I definitely want to say this is one of my favourites out the franchise. So Apocalypse, you get my vote. Then we got Extinction, which, it was okay. I wouldn't say it was my all-time fit. I mean, again, I do enjoy them all. It's okay, I wouldn't class it as one of the best ones, but I definitely think it was a good film, where all of a sudden the world becomes a walking desert. The dead are out, and yeah, you name it. Then we got Resident Evil Afterlife. Now, I enjoyed this one. It was a good film. A lot more action, a lot more freaking zombies. I definitely recommend it to anyone that watches it. It really is cool. Watches it. Haven't seen it. That's more like it. I definitely, yeah, this is a good film in my book, Resident Evil Afterlife. It really is. I don't care about all them bloody rip-offs of the Matrix. Pull that stuff out your ass right now. And then my second favourite in the franchise, along with Apocalypse, has to be Resident Evil Retribution. Now, in this film, I do like the action, but I just love how they've got all the characters from the game in it. They've got Barry Burton, Leon C. Kennedy, and my favourite, Ada Wong. Honestly, she's played by Lee Bingbing. I really did enjoy this one. I really did. I honestly just enjoyed everything about it. And Mila Jovovich looks nice in that suit. No, this one's an all-time favourite, I would say, because of the characters, because of the story, because of the way it's going, along with Apocalypse. And yeah, right, that's all my Resident Evil films. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed what I think of them. Again, I'm sorry for the curse language, but critic people really get on my nerves. Hence, I hate criticism, remember that. Alright, without further ado, I will see you all later. Thank you. 1,